Sports. We are Baltimore. We are St. Louis.
Beautiful night here in the Gateway City. It is hot. And this weekend, the Cardinals play host to the Texas Rangers. Rematch of the 2011 World Series. Al will join us. That's Rick Horton. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And Rick, any way you want to look at it, should be a fun weekend.
It really should be. And don't be fooled by the fact that the Texas Rangers have been losing lately. They've lost 4 out of their last 5 series. This is a good team. They pitch well. They hit well. The Cardinals playing their first of 11 straight interleague games. This could be a key part of the season for them.
Pair of lefties here tonight. And for St. Louis, it's Tyler Lyons. We'll take a look at Tyler trying to get back on those winning ways when we come back on Fox Sports Midwest.
Well, the next 3, not so well. Just to put it bluntly, he's pitching for his rotation spot here in St. Louis. And we'll be back with more from Busch.
and he does it again.
6-game hitting streak.
Alan Craig has found his home run strut.
Holiday goes down to get it out to deep left. Oh, it's gone. This is trouble, and oh, what a catch. Holiday makes the catch in left center. Cosma, base hit into right. This one is gone. And Cosma hits the lead man.
Nice play by Pete Cosman.
There's a drive. This one is gone. Cut off by Carpenter. Carpenter spins, throws. Nice play. Freeze hits it out to center field. At the track. Grand slam, David Freeze. All left side, could be two.
Roller, Freeze on the move. He makes that play very, very well.
At the wall, goodbye. Beltran takes him deep.
Big night for Beltran.
Beltran fires into second. Got him. Sends it to deep center field. Goodbye. Molina and holds on. Throw by Yachty right on cue. Thank you very much. Goodbye. And what a weapon he is. Cardinals with the best record in baseball, so you would have to figure that a lot of these Redbirds are headed to the All-Star game. July 16th at 6:30. You can see that on Fox. And don't forget, on July 6th, it is the pregame show that will announce the starters for both the American and National Leagues on Baseball Night in America. Run was so improbable, so unthinkable that it had to happen. Despite enormous deficits in August and September, despite 4 elimination games, despite being down to their last strike twice, the Cardinals took on the favored Texas Rangers, and they won. They won thanks to guys like Alan Craig, Yadier Molina, and St. Louis native David Freeze. They won because that's the Cardinals' way. Find a way to battle. Find a way to win. Texas was the better team that year, but no one told St. Louis. Fast forward to 2013. Fresh off another deep run into October, the Cardinals are confident. They are efficient. They are intelligent. responsive, and relaxed. They've combined a healthy core of veterans led by Matt Holliday, Carlos Beltran, and Adam Wainwright, with a future generation of stars in Alan Craig, Matt Carpenter, and Shelby Miller. They've received both depth and impact from the best farm system in baseball, and they're led by the best player in the game. Mike Matheny's club has been the best team in baseball through the first 2.5 months, but Texas hasn't been too far behind. The Rangers are ready for revenge as the road back to October begins tonight. The St. Louis Cardinals, the Texas Rangers, next on Fox Sports Midwest. Three here this evening. Baseball brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. See your Mid-America Chevy dealer or log on to stlchevy.com. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake, just no equal. Three-man booth tonight. The Mad Hungarian Al Raboski, Rick Horton, Dan McLaughlin with you. And I'm sure we'll be saying this all night long. What's going through the minds of some of these players and the participants from 2011? Ron Washington has probably relived Game 6, Game 7, that series over and over. What could he have done differently? He's still at the helm of the Rangers.
Well, he was within one strike twice, and for a manager that's hoping to win a World Series, that is just heartbreaking for Ron Washington. Of course, it was nothing but good news for Cardinal fans.
Take a look at his lineup. It's a good one, especially from the right side. So a challenge tonight for Tyler Lyons, Ian Kinsler, Elvis Andrews, Nelson Cruz, Adrian Beltre, A.J. Pierzynski, the former White Sox, Mitch Moreland, David Murphy, Leonys Martin, and Derek Holland. Cardinals defensively, it's brought to you by Dobbs. We'll highlight the 2011 World Series MVP. Pretty solid down there defensively this season. St. Louis native David Freese.
Tyler Lyons making his 6th start, 2 good ones, 3 losses to follow. Last time out, 5 1/3 innings in Miami. Really was very close to having a good game, but could not finish out a couple of 2-out jams. Ended up giving up 8 hits and 6 runs to the Marlins.
Ian Kinsler, 3-time All-Star, University of Missouri product, will lead things off. So the key is starter, the lefty Tyler Lyons. There is a University of Missouri and St. Louis surrounding area flavor to this game as Kinsler takes a ball and we're underway. 1 year for Kinsler at Mizzou in 03. Very good player, stolen base threat when he's aboard. .299 overall this season with 7 homers, and he's driven in 26. Now, when you think about Lyons and those first couple of starts, which truly were statistically historic starts in Major League Baseball, he was aggressive in the zone, and that's back to Lyons for the first out. What do you think the mindset is for him tonight?
Well, I don't know if it's good or bad for him to know that this could be pitching to stay here in St. Louis. But you're absolutely right. His first 2 starts, he just attacked the strike zone, goes 7 innings in both of them, gives up less than 5 hits. He only walked 1 in each game. And since then, the walks have piled up a little bit, a lot more hits, and not shown the ability to get out of a 2-out jam.
Second place hitter in this lineup is Elvis Andrus, 24-year-old native of Venezuela, and he takes a ball. Last start for Tyler Lyons, really rough. 6 runs in 5 1/3. That was against Miami, and never really got on track, especially the bottom of the order. That's where the damage came from, and twice he was able to almost get out of innings, and then it turned into a hit by pitch, a walk, and the floodgates would open up. Two balls and no strikes, and a challenge tonight facing a very good offensive club with Texas, especially Rick from the right side of the plate.
Yeah, it's interesting. They have their right-handers at the top of the lineup and all their lefties at the bottom. They basically emptied their bench of left-handed hitters. Surprising they had some other choices, but they've got Brzezinski, Moreland, Murphy, and Martin 6 through 8, and Holland, their pitcher's a switch hitter.
I don't know about you. I was disappointed to see for Ron Washington's lineup no Lance Berkman, but I'm sure we'll see him at some point in this series.
Well, they got their first baseman back, Mitch Moreland, today.
And that's strike 2. It's a full count with 1 out, nobody on.
Also like to see Profar play. Young player that we've heard so much about.
It seems like Profar, when you hear his name, you also hear the name Oscar Taveras, 2 of the best prospects in baseball.
Well, some of the rumors, I'm sure there was no real seriousness to them, that the Cardinals and Texas would trade their #1 prospects.
A 3-2 pitch. Lyons walks him. 1 out walk to Elvis Andrus, and it brings in Nelson Cruz, who might get an ovation. You never know after what happened in Game 6, 2011.
I don't think there's any way to sugarcoat it, but he personally made the one mistake, when he should have been playing much deeper, no doubles defense. He was playing in, and that ball got over his head. That was the triple for David Freese. That was a fatal mistake.
1 out and a runner at first. And Nelson Cruz has been a very good player. 20+ home runs, 4 consecutive years. At one point, he was property of the Milwaukee Brewers. You may forget. And Nelson Cruz was part of the Carlos Lee deal. So it's turned out to be a pretty good trade for the Texas Rangers.
Cruz does strike out a lot, but you have to look at his power numbers. He has 18 homers, 50 RBIs, World Series numbers from 2011, just a 200 batting average, and again that play in right field that we will long remember. But really, an all-star in 2009, he is a good player.
This may be a key moment in the sense.
In the air out to deep right center. Jay makes the catch. We can hear it up here. The Cardinals bench screaming tag, as Andrus did show that he was going to tag up, but John Jay was ready for that, and there's 2 away.
If you remember down in Miami, remember in Miami, Lions got in trouble in the first inning when Juan Pierre reached base, and it looked like he spent so much attention trying to avoid him stealing that he really sacrificed to the plate and made some careless pitches.
Adrian Beltre, been around a long time, parts of 7 seasons with the Dodgers, 5 years with Seattle, 1 season with Boston, and now in year 3 with Texas. Let's listen in. That fly out and hearing the bench yell, tag, tag, tag. And John Jay taking nothing for granted, making sure he gets it back in quickly. 217 consecutive errorless games, by the way, now for John Jay. It's closing in on the Cardinals' all-time record set by Curt Flood, late 60s, 222 straight by a Cardinals center fielder. Two balls and no strikes.
Beltre having another solid season. Last year he ended up with .321 average. He had 36 home runs, 102 RBIs. He's over 300 again. Nearly half the home runs and well on his way with 39 RBIs.
This is low and away. 3-0. Very good Rangers club. Just a game out in the American League West. Cardinals have gone to a 6-man rotation in Memphis to curtail some of the appearances and innings for both Michael Wacha, Carlos Martinez. And now were you alluding to maybe one of those two potentially being called up if Lions would falter?
Well, it's one of those, or you pull somebody out of the bullpen, but I think everybody is hoping that Tyler Lyons can make pitches like he just did. He makes this pitch here on the black. It looked like Yachty wanted it inside, but it gets it right at the bottom of the strike zone, gets past a dangerous hitter.
Wow, Beltre waving at it as he has words with the home plate umpire to ask if that was a strike. Tyler Lyons gets the K. No score after a half inning. And that's Derek Holliday.
Yeah, you think he'd be a lot older than the 26, but he's 5-4, 3.30 ERA. He's pitched very well when he's faced National League ball clubs, 2-0, and an ERA under 1.
A look at the Cardinals lineup. Matt Carpenter will lead things off. Then Beltran and Holiday in the first. It's Craig, Molina, Freese, Jay, Cosma, and Lyons. So 1 through 9, there it is for St. Louis tonight. Carpenter coming off back-to-back multi-hit games. He's among the league leaders in that category, as well as top 10 in on-base percentage.
Top 10 in 6 different offensive categories. You mentioned on-base percentage, but batting average, hits, doubles, runs, walks. Really having an all-star season through 74 games.
Well, he had the career high 18-game hitting streak. Then he found things a little tough. But the last 2 games he's had multi-hit affairs.
And he hits a rope into right center field. Extra bases again for Carpenter. On his way to second. Leadoff double for the Cardinal leadoff man. Replay brought to you by Plaza Tire Service, Rick.
They were really playing him to hit the ball to left center field, and the gap was open in right center. He turns on this pitch and drives it into that very wide gap. Martin a long way to run, and Carpenter another double.
21.
He's chasing Yachty.
League's leading hitter with runners in scoring position is Beltran at 442. And Carlos gives the Cardinals an early 1-run lead. Back-to-back doubles for St. Louis. Carpenter scores 1-0 Cardinals here in the first. The red-hot Carlos Beltran comes through.
Only his 8th double, but another RBI, 46 for Carlos, who's putting together another outstanding season. Off-speed pitch, leaves it down and in, drops the bat head, hits it fair, and down into the corner. Hung up there a little bit, but they just trade places with back-to-back doubles, and the Cardinals are off to a good start against a tough pitcher.
Matt Holliday has had a good month of June, and you look up, you see that he is second in runs scored with 55. Home run last night. 1 run on 3 pitches, and that's taken high. Holland was the Game 4 World Series starter, 8 1/3 shutout innings back in 2011. So the Cardinals have seen him before, and he has lost consecutive games. A bit surprising. He's been very consistent in his young career. Concerned about all the hits he's been giving up. 4 consecutive starts in which he's given up 8 or more hits in each of those starts.
And some issues really in their rotation because they've had so many injuries. Matt Harrison's out. Feliz, Soria, Ogando, all on the disabled list. Those are big names that they expected a lot of production from. And that puts more pressure on a guy like Holland to be an ace. Of course, they have an ace, and we won't see him. Yu Darvish was originally supposed to pitch on Sunday, but he's been pushed back to the Yankee series.
As a Cardinal fan, I'm happy about that.
Yeah,
As a baseball fan, I'm disappointed.
I'm tracking you now.
And Holliday thought that was a strike. Instead, 4 straight balls. And this is a guy that usually shows excellent control. So Holland has seen the first 3 reach here in this first inning. Looking at the Rangers defensively, Beltre as shorthanded as they come. Down at third base, 4-time Gold Glover, 3-time All-Stars, won the Silver Slugger 3 times. Pierzynski won it last year in the American League while with Chicago. That's a look at the Rangers defense, and it's presented by Dobbs.
I'd almost have to say that Beltre may be one of the top 5 underrated players in the game of baseball. Not that people don't know that he's good, but he's a superstar good. And you mentioned the Gold Gloves, but his numbers outstanding. 10 times 20 or more home runs, 477 career home runs. I mean, this guy's a big-time player and probably doesn't get enough recognition.
And now it's Alan Craig at 263 in the World Series. That's some key plays, big hits. No surprise there.
If memory serves, he hit a home run off of Holland.
Also took one away in Game 7.
Yeah. Alan Craig had 3 home runs in that. And I think it was when Holland came in relief. The outing in relief was when Craig got him for the home run.
Craig with RBIs in 13 of 19 games this month. Came off the bench last night. You know, guys, we've seen this great start. I'm not sure Mike Matheny has gotten enough credit for pulling the right strings at different times this season. And another one last night, pulling Lance Lynn. Clearly could have gone another inning, maybe two. Alan Craig came up with a chance to put the game out of reach, and he did so.
Got other options. You could have used a couple left-handers off his bench, but brought in the RBI guy, and it paid off.
Mike talking in his post-game interview that he really liked the way Lance Lynn was pitching. Wanted to keep him out there a little bit longer, but it just couldn't miss that opportunity with the bases loaded. You knew you had a lead already, but you knew that Allen was going to pad it.
Two runners on at first and second. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Craig, and he hits it out of play. In 9 of 14 starts coming into this start, Derek Holland had not given up a walk in 9 of 14, and he walks one here in the first.
He's a strikeout pitcher too, nearly a strikeout an inning.
Maybe he needs his mustache.
It's a bad look, and he knew it too.
It was bad.
Here's a 1-2. Craig rips it into left center. At least one will score. Holiday digging for third. Holiday digging for the plate. How about Alan Craig? Is he something else or what? 57 he has driven in. 3-0 Cardinals here in the first.
Allen was 4th in the National League in RBIs before that blast. 3 doubles in the inning and a walk.
Pitch up to Alan Craig. Holiday sees it's in the gap, and he's flying around second. No stopping Matt Holiday at that point.
Somebody's going to pay the price if they did get in his way.
Craig, the runner at second base. League's leading hitter in Yadier Molina at 366. Strike one. Molina, to put into perspective what he's doing, 13th best start in franchise history through this many games. 366, 94 hits in 73 games. 13th best start in the 100+ years of Cardinals baseball.
And you add on the responsibilities of catching every day, that's quite an accomplishment.
Molina hits it sharply to the shortstop. Thought about going to third at Beltre. They'll get the shore out. So a productive out from Yadi, and a chance for the hero from 2011, David Freese. Let's listen to this ovation for David.
Third baseman David Freese.
Now, if I was David Freese's agent, I would say, Mo, you and I need to talk. But first, I'm going to put in this little DVD, and I want you to watch this.
The one we just watched.
The one we just watched. And let's make it a lifetime deal. It was a tremendous piece put together by our pregame show producer, Brad Straubinger, also Chris Felt, one of the top editors in the country that we have hired at Fox Sports Midwest. And if you missed it on the pregame show, you missed out. It was sensational.
It really was, and it was, Al, you said it, kind of goosebumps, and just wonderful to relive that series and what David did. Not just David, but plenty of others.
I remember early in Game 6, it was a comedy of errors. And
ugly game.
Both sides, you know, neither team really wanted to win that game, and then the Cardinals took charge.
1-1 pitch, and Freese pulls it to Beltre. Comes to the plate, and he shows why he's a Gold Glover. That wasn't an easy play. The back end alone, and then the throw to the plate with the runner going down the line.
Got to have great confidence in your ability, and know that when you're afraid to make a mistake, you know, you make a lot of. But when you're so confident in your ability, you'll take these chances like this. And And that could be a big game. Difference of 3-0 after 1 or 4-0. That, you keep it a 3-run game, you still are right in it.
Now it's John Jay. Freeze the runner at first. Texas fans are saying, oh great, now we get him. So Freeze is out at first, and here's Jay.
I don't fault Alan Craig for making the attempt there too. Make him make that throw. Not an easy throw. You got to throw around Craig. Catcher may have his vision obscured a bit.
Liner, that's caught by Kinsler. So Derek Holland not fooling many here in the first inning. 3-run lead for St. Louis. American League, the record in June for Texas at 7-12 got off to one of the hottest starts in baseball. The Cardinals the best record overall, and they're 12-8 this month, second best in the National League.
And the Texas had a 6-game losing streak, but they got healthy when they needed to. They just took 3 out of 4 from Oakland. Now they trail the A's by 1.
A.J. Pierzynski spins away from a breaking ball. The book on Tyler Lyons: decent fastball, decent changeup, plus curveball. Have we seen that plus curveball?
I believe we just saw it, but I don't believe we've seen enough of it the last 3 games.
This is hammered into right center field. He hung that one on the 0-1 pitch. 1 hop and a ground rule double for A.J. Pierzynski. Take a look at our keys to the game. It's the lefty-lefty matchup with Tyler Lyons. Toyota keys to the game.
First couple of games for Lyons, he was 0 for 8 against left-handers, but the last 3 starts, 8 for 20. We believe that's a Toyota key to this game because there's 4 lefties back to back to back to back, including A.J. Pierzynski, who's just doubled to lead off the second.
And I think that 8 for 20 was before Pierzynski's double.
There's Mitch Moreland, 17th round pick in 2007 out of Mississippi State. Baseball factory that has been over the years.
Dan, and you mentioned that good curveball. We saw one, but then the next pitch was another one, and he hangs it. So the consistency isn't there.
Slicing down the left field line, and it is a fair ball. Ground rule double, and Pierzynski will score on that to make it a 3-1 St. Louis lead. Back-to-back doubles, and there it is again. The lefty coming through against Tyler Lyons.
I mentioned that Moreland just came off the disabled list. Not a bad pitch right there, down and away, but yet a better piece of hitting. Trades position with Baczynski, and right now we're having a little fun with doubles in this game. Already 5 of them.
Fox Tracks brought to you by Chevy. And here is David Murphy. 219, 8 homers. He's driven in 27. I like what the guys and gals in our truck have done, giving you the numbers from the 2011 World Series to jar your memory a little bit. Guys that had good series, some did not. Tyler Lyons does not know much about that. Oklahoma State product. May have gotten away with that breaking ball. Lifted into left center. John Jay makes the catch. And Moreland stays put.
Twice we've seen John Jay do the proper thing. Anticipate the runner's going to be moving. Don't look and check it out. That's too late. But go out there and just assume they're going to be running. Get yourself into throwing position and gun it over there. Just hit your cutout man, and you just look like you're right, doing the right thing at the right time.
Seems to be throwing a little bit better the last week than we saw him maybe a month ago.
Maybe being tested a few more times, getting a chance to throw.
Here's Martin, the 8th place hitter. Fastball and a strike. John was telling me, John Jay, that he actually did work on the beach to strengthen his legs this offseason. Also throwing drills from the sand to try to get more of a base in his running and also throwing. Never question his work habits. Always working on his game, especially defensively, and it's been a work in progress this season with the changes in his stance. Being moved down in the lineup for the Cardinals. Here's the 0-2 pitch. A liner and a race to the bag. And back safely is Moreland. 2 away. Tim McCarver making his final appearance in regular season play here in St. Louis. Hopefully not for postseason play. It's baseball night in America. Rangers and Cardinals will come your way at 6 Central. Baseball night in America. Your former teammate, Al, Tim McCarver.
Oh, yeah. I was telling everybody that I used to like Tim McCarver. And then one day he was catching me, and Hank Aaron hit a double down the left field line. Tim said it was the hardest hit ball he had ever seen, so I don't like Tim anymore.
I find that shocking, Al, that you would have some type of relationship with a former player where you guys didn't get along.
Shouldn't you blame that on Hank Aaron?
You have to blame it on somebody, but you know, Hank Aaron
and let's go back even further. Didn't you throw the pitch?
Ricky, don't you know the key?
No.
Never assume total responsibility.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me write that down.
You have to
write that down.
Mentally keep yourself in a positive frame of mind.
Here's a 2-0 pitch and a strike to Derek Holland. So American League team coming to a National League park. You have to figure this gives the edge, at least on paper, to St. Louis. Their hitters not used to doing this.
And a bit of an oddity, we have two switch hitting pitchers in this game, and that's the first time the Cardinals have experienced that with their starting pitchers since August of 1985. Joaquin Andujar and Charles Hudson started a game, both switch hitters.
Or so they said.
Count runs full. This is the first time that Texas has been to St. Louis in regular season play. Entering this year, there were 7 instances in which a team had never played a road game at a particular opponent's stadium. As Lyons walks the pitcher, the frustration from the fans. Second walk.
Remember what happened in Miami, Rick?
Walked Ricky Nolasco twice. Gives you the sense that he's kind of aiming the ball in those situations because he clearly knows it's the pitcher, and maybe he's just thinking just throw a nice easy pitch down central instead of letting it go.
Let it go and also trust your stuff.
Inning is extended to Ian Kinsler, asking for trouble. Sometimes you can even just see the reaction from Yadier Molina and how he receives the baseball and his frustrations as well.
Yadier trying to work with him. Fell behind with the breaking ball. Let's see if he doesn't come back with another. Another breaking ball, but you can see right there, Texas Ranger hitters can go up there and eliminate that pitch. It's what you try to do as a hitter. You see a guy who's got 3 or 4 pitches, but if you can't get one of them over, you don't worry about it.
2-1.
Almost even worse, and you alluded to it earlier, Dan. Almost worse than not getting it over is he's hanging about 40% of his curveballs right now, and hanging it in the middle of the plate is going to produce more damage than walking somebody with it.
First time up, Kinsler bounced back 2 Lions to start the game. The 2-1 pitch. Crowds on this homestand have been just awesome. We've got another huge crowd tonight and expected this weekend as well. Time is called. 3 balls and 1 strike. And he walks some back-to-back walks, and the bases are loaded. You've got 40,000 plus, and the weight of a lot of expectations coming into this start for Tyler Lyons squarely on his shoulders. Missouri Lottery shows it. It's a ball outside, and now Derek Littlequist to the phone, and they start to scurry down there in the bullpen.
Well, Dan, it's also more frustrating too because he goes out, puts up a shutout in the first inning. His teammates give him 3 runs, and now he can't find the strike zone. And you're starting to get into the more danger of the hitters.
Elvis Andrews, and that's a ball. Remember, he was the first pitcher in Major League history to go 7+, 4 hits or less, 1 walk or less in his first 2 career starts. Joe Kelly begins to throw.
The oddity here for Tyler Lyons is walks have really never been an issue for him as a minor league player.
Does that tell you then maybe he's putting a lot of pressure on himself up here?
And you know, it's almost impossible to pitch when you're always looking over your shoulder. If you're worrying about, okay, if I get in a jam, you know, they're not going to let me get out of the jam, or if I don't do well in this start, I'm going to the minor leagues. You got to forget all those things. All those things could be reality, but you have to go out there and defeat that negative thinking and go out there and just attack the strike zone and say whatever happens, happens.
2-0, and then you also have pitches that are borderline, and with walks, you're not getting the calls.
Just off the plate, but become very frustrating because sometimes you could get some of those pitches.
You know that feeling of all the fans kind of murmuring, you can't throw a strike, your teammates frustrated, and kind of even almost the sarcastic cheer. It just adds more pressure to the pitcher as if there's not enough already. And then you start to squeeze the ball a little bit, and that never helps.
How do you deal with that pressure?
Bases loaded, the 3-2 pitch, and it's a base hit out to left. 2 runs will score, and just like that, we're tied up. It's 3-3. Andrews drives in RBIs 24 and 25.
ball just kind of sliding across the strike zone became even more of a hitter's pitch. Also the fact that full count, you have the runners all moving, so it guaranteed a second run would score.
Yadi take his time getting out there to allow Joe Kelly to continue to get loose, as Nelson Cruz will be the 8th batter to come to the plate here in this second inning.
And what you're finding with Tyler Lyons is his fastball becomes much more hittable because his curveball is inconsistent, and that's going to be it for Tyler Lyons.
So Joe Kelly, here's a chance to make a statement. 3-3, top of the second. Goosebumps for me. I don't know about you two, but should be fun seeing some of those highlights throughout the telecast tonight of the 2011 World Series, as Joe Kelly will take over for the Cardinals, and he'll come in with 2 runners on in a brand new game as Texas has tied it up. It's 3-3. It's our Chevy called to the pen, and Joe Kelly only, Rick, his 21st appearance of this season. Remember, he did have a spot start, but everything else out of the bullpen, and only 21 appearances now.
27 innings for Joe Kelly. You would think he'd have more than that by this point in the season, but his earned run average continues to go down. He really had a rough start. I think that limited his innings in the early going, but he's getting better and better, I think, as the season progresses.
He was a pretty lonely guy down there in the bullpen, being a long man with all the success of the Cardinal starters.
Exactly.
And I think we're going to see more. Even when he made that spot start, he ended up with a loss that he did not deserve. And he went, that was 6 1/3 innings, something like that. Made 16 starts last year and did a great job. 3.30 ERA for the Cardinals.
Just like any pitcher in a long major league season, they'll deal with tenderness, and I know Joe Kelly has had that issue at times this year, so they're being very careful in his usage, but he could make a statement here. And that's a broken bat single out to left, and Texas has the lead. 4-3, the Rangers on top. That run charged to Tyler Lyons Nelson Cruz with RBI number 51.
David Freese, and something I've really noticed, that most of the time he positions himself very close to the third base line. I don't think he would have made that play either anyway if he was playing off the line. Cruz's 51st RBI.
Two outs and two on.
Mentioned the start of Joe Kelly. He went 5 2/3 innings against the Diamondbacks on the 5th of June. He gave up only 4 hits, Al, in that game. 1 earned run only. But the second run, the unearned run, gave the Diamondbacks the lead, and then they extended the lead, ended up winning 10-3.
Remember, that was a misplay in left field when he was out of the game. But it was his run that came across and made him lose his third ball game with 3 decisions.
Trouble here with Beltran. Playing in deep right field, knowing the power of Beltre. Ricky, I was listening to you rattle off those numbers. Depending on how much longer he wants to play, you never know, Beltre might be in the Hall of Fame. He's
Those
getting
big
those
numbers.
Yeah.
I agree. And if you stopped the average guy on the street and said, hey, do you think that Adrian Beltre should be a Hall of Famer? How many people are going to say yes to that?
Not me, but after watching, you know, some of the things that he's done here in the last couple of years and hearing those numbers.
He's only 33.
Right. Take a hard look. 3-1 pitch with 2 runners on. Slider in there for a strike.
One of the amazing things about Beltre, too, is how tough he is to strike out. Power hitter that doesn't strike out, you really got something, although he's the lone strikeout victim for the Rangers so far.
Chopper towards Freese, and it's pulled foul. Berkman, Beltre, and Beltran. Numbers piling up, 350 plus in those careers as far as home runs are concerned. Liner into center, Jay. He's there. Hard hit ball, but right at John Jay. Texas with a 1-run lead. broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They are watching around the world: Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Welcome. And hopefully this takes you away from your day-to-day duties and you can sit back and enjoy a little baseball and a slice from home. A strike at the knees to Pete Kozma.
Good life for Derek Holland. Been a long time since he's been out there on the mound, but he's got to appreciate his team's offense. Took a 3-run deficit and turned it into a 1-run lead for him.
Pitch was up and off the glove of Beltre near the sidewall, and Pete Kozma. What else? It's a double tonight.
Pete's 14th double. Also the 5th double of this game, the 3rd by the Cardinals. Beltre way off the line. Does a nice job to show his range. Didn't get a piece of that. Slowed it down, but once that ball got by him, it was going to be an extra base hit.
Already the Cardinals' 4th double of the night. In steps Joe Kelly.
I said 3 and you were right. 4. Kelly can help his own cause here. Pretty good athlete. We'll talk to Kelly after Texas showed their defensive play on that one, trying to pick off. Runner at second base. He sees the shortstop break to third, and so he feels like he can get off further, and the second baseman sneaks in behind as the pitcher throws to the second base bag, trying to attempt the pickoff. Now with the Cardinals counter.
Trying to keep him very close at second base as Kelly gets down the bunt. It's a beauty. Beltre better hurry. And Kelly, if he's running full sprint, probably beats that out. We know he can run very well. Sacrifice is good.
Really good bunt by Joe Kelly. Perfectly placed. And he may just be assuming that he's going to be out, but I agree.
There's no question he was assuming that.
If he runs harder the last 3 steps, I think he's safe.
He's one of the fastest guys on the team.
He is.
Infield in.
Chance for Carpenter. Double to right center, came around to score in the first inning.
A game like this with all the offense, they're just asking for a crooked number. Bringing the infield in.
One ball, one strike on Matt Carpenter. 2012 Derek Holland, 12 wins, 175 innings. And he did that while missing over a month with a sore shoulder.
Find it interesting when Texas is in, they're not kidding around. They're way in.
And it gets away. Brzezinski was handcuffed, it looked like. And with that, Kozma ties it up at 4.
Had to be crossed up.
Forgot to put somebody behind the catcher.
The sure-handed Brzezinski doesn't handle this. I think he's thinking fastball, and it just dips at the last second. really break that much. That's just a kind of a mental lapse, I guess, for Brzezinski.
I don't know if you noticed, guys, but Brzezinski has thrown out 1 of 26 base runners this year. Cardinals don't run much, but they may have to take advantage of that.
2-1 pitch is a fly ball that's lifted to left. Catch made by David Murphy, and there's 2 away. Well on our way to mobile on the run time, because 6 again is a serious number. Cardinals score 6. You can score any size coffee, fountain, or frozen drink for just 50 cents the next day at On the Run. Beltran with a double down the left field line, first time up. Came around to score, also picked up an RBI. Quickly 2 balls and no strikes. Tyler Lyons has seen his ERA jump to over 5. He's off the hook. It's now a 4-4 game. The 2-0 pitch.
He may be off the hook, but he's not feeling much better about that, I can tell you. Very frustrating night for Tyler Lyons. I know he wanted to get back on track. We've seen him good. You know he's capable of doing it. He just has lost his consistency, and he's certainly lost his effectiveness of his breaking ball. Really, he almost could eliminate the breaking ball today. They were hitting the fastball because they didn't have to worry about the breaking.
Correct. Almost as if he came up here, nobody really expected much. He did so well that all of a sudden people start expecting and he couldn't deliver.
Walk to Beltran. Second walk issued by the lefty. The first time it was Holiday, and he'll dig in with 2 down and a runner at first.
Mike Maddox, Greg's brother, out to talk. The pitching coach talked to Holland.
Well, 2 years ago, it was a loss of Albert Pujols for Texas last year. Josh Hamilton goes to the Angels, and a lot of the experts that follow baseball day in and day out said, well, these are 2 teams that will be down. You know, missing big stars, really didn't do a lot in the offseason. If they did, it was minor moves. Not much was made, let's say, of an A.J. Pierzynski being added. Maybe more should have been. The Cardinals, their farm system has been the story of the season for them.
I think that says something about when a team wins, the star maybe gets a little bit more credit than some of the other players that get there along with him, that maybe they deserve at least partial credit. It wasn't a one-man show here with Albert. Really wasn't a one-man show there with Hamilton. And I think what's happened since then has proved it. Not that you don't appreciate the Stars' production. You need to have your stars be the stars, but you can't win with just one superstar.
They were the grand marshals, but need the parade.
Absolutely.
Backing up, Kinsler makes the play. Holiday retired, and the Cardinals strand their second runner, but they tie it up. 4-4 after 2. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Schnucks, your neighborhood hometown grocer. Did you guys have dessert tonight? If not, load up.
Tonight's not over.
Al, I'll start with you. This makes it an interesting outing here for Joe Kelly coming out of the pen. Obviously will be used and extended, hopefully. And then you wonder about the immediate future, meaning 5 days from now. Or when this spot in the rotation would pop up.
You know, you don't like to make statements that affect people's livelihood, but I think we're seeing right now that this is an audition for 5 days to see if Kelly makes the start.
0-1 on A.J. Pierzynski.
We put a low percentage that Lions would make it.
Cardinals do have the off day coming up. Bunch of off days coming up. Monday, then a 2-game series with Houston. Off day on Thursday, 3 with Oakland, off day on Monday. So they can stretch out the rotation a little bit and play around with it if they'd like.
It may buy you a little bit of time before you actually have to kind of pull the trigger on a decision. But, you know, obviously things are not going in the right direction right now for Tyler Lyons, and you don't want to kick the guy when he's down because we were praising him when he was good, and he's just not right now. And there's just no other way to say it. And you have to think what's best for the team and what's best for Tyler Lyons beyond that.
And I think you said it best, Ricky, that we saw that he is capable of pitching well at this level. But when you have 2 good ones and 4 bad ones, and your last 4 appearances have been the bad, you know, it's time for a change.
1-2 pitch. Pierzynski breaks his bat. That shatters. Ball rolls foul. 1-2 the count. Piece by Carpenter. Another one by Craig. Hyundai replay. The shattered bat.
Get that ball no more than 4 inches off the hands.
Make a nice fire with that kindling wood.
Francisco Liriano, A.J. Pierzynski, Joe Nathan, all involved in a big deal a few years ago with Minnesota and San Francisco. Brief time for A.J. with the Giants, and then off to Chicago. Won a world championship there in 2005. Liriano now pitching with the Pirates, and Joe Nathan, the former outstanding closer with Minnesota, is working out of the bullpen here for Texas, along with our buddy Cal McClellan. Also, area native Neil Kotz is out there. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Slowly hit to Carpenter. Pierzynski is out. 1 away. Interleague play. Cardinals, from a National League team's perspective, they've been pretty good. Overall, the National League has gotten beaten up in interleague play.
The Cardinals have the best winning percentage, and it would be 8th best in all of baseball. 7 American League clubs have a higher percentage.
Last time I did the math, the National League was only 5 games below the American League this year, and that's a lot better than it's been of late. Here's a look at Kyle McClellan.
Nice, very good years in St. Louis.
Yeah, he had to work his way back up here after an arm injury, and part of that Rangers bullpen.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. And a fly ball lifted to left. Out number 2. So Mitch Moreland is out number 2, and it brings in David Murphy. You know, McClellan, vital role out of the Cardinals bullpen, a number of appearances. Saw that great curveball that he possessed and still does. despite the injuries. They say he's been pitching okay. Also for a while was in the starting rotation for St. Louis too.
And he's still getting left-handed batters out, so very versatile.
1-0 pitch to David Murphy.
Part of the reason we're a bit shocked is we've watched some things that have happened since the calendar turned over to June. Today, the first day of summer. Cardinals in June, maybe not as good as they were in April and May, but the pitchers are maybe a little more normal now. But what we were seeing in April and May was so extraordinary from the starting rotation. Maybe we all got a little spoiled.
Off the lip of the grass. We saw that last night. Ground ball by Matt Holliday that slipped under the glove of Castro. Well, this time it stays down on Carpenter. Had a little giddy up to it. Would have been a very tough play anyway, but it stayed down. It's a base hit. 2-out hit. And here's Martin. Where they left off. Runs scored first 2 innings. Last 3 meetings. Remember, Game 7, Texas actually had the lead early on. 2 outs and a runner at first for Martin. Oh, what a play there by Craig, and he'll step on the bag. Outstanding play, Alan Craig. Clutch hitter, we know that. He's already come through tonight. He did it in 2011. Leads it off when we come back. The greatness of Albert Pujols that night, and so many in St. Louis, the 3-home-run night.
Upcoming road trip, we'll get to see Albert.
I've said it many times. As a fan, it's sad that he will not finish his career in St. Louis. Whether the deal works out for him, against St. Louis, for St. Louis, regardless, as Craig takes a ball upstairs. Still, from a baseball perspective of a fan, you love to see a guy that had such a prolific career finish it here or wherever he may be, but with one team. 1 ball, 1 strike on Craig. But that's business in professional sports.
Part of the business is the Texas Rangers having to watch the video on the scoreboard between innings here, which has become such a favorite of ours up here in the booth, and the fans, when they see it here at the ballpark, of that homemade video of the 2011 celebration. So well done, and fans that have been here at the ballpark know the one I'm talking about. It's just so well done, but I wouldn't have wanted to be a Texas Ranger sitting there between innings watching it.
That video is put together by Matt Sheed of our department. Work on the scoreboard and many of the commercials that you see, and that was taken from YouTube clips as people recorded themselves watching the 2011 World Series unfold. So if anything would happen of significance, they would have it documented with the TV behind them and their reaction. And it's really a neat video. Shown all last year, and they just played it here at the ballpark. The 2-2 is Craig pulls it foul.
And the attitude of the Texas Rangers is it could have been us. It should have been us. It wasn't us. You know, what would have been like in Dallas, you know, if they won their first world championship? Sure, it'd be pandemonium.
I have this strong memory of watching Nolan Ryan and kind of the views of him throughout the last 4 innings of Game 6 and then Game 7, and just kind of the fact that he was wearing his heart on the sleeve during that time. You think he's getting ready to celebrate. Nelson Cruz, ball hit over his head by David Freese, and things changed in a heartbeat.
Absolutely right about Nolan. You know, for a guy that is so stoic and is such a presence on the mound, that he never got that excited at times, and then got his low point sitting there when he couldn't do anything when he was on the field.
Craig reaching for it, drives it out to center field, and the catch made on the run by Martin. MLB.com at bat, the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Cardinals baseball. You can text At Bat to 31826 or visit Cardinals.com for details.
We've talked about this being a tough start for Tyler Lyons, but I think Derek Holland is hanging on by his fingernails right now. He's not really fooling a lot of Cardinals.
Here's Yadier Molina. Holland has had his issues with the strike zone tonight. One in the home half of the third. Molina grounded out to short first time up and pops it up. Foul territory. Moreland over with room. 2 away. Go back to the World Series of 2011. The AT&T Twitter poll concerns that. Which is your favorite unsung moment from the 2011 World Series? Craig catching Game 7 to take a home run away. Craig also hit a home run in Game 7. Berkman game-tying single. It was a Game 6. Also Descalso and Jay. Kind of forgotten there. The tying runs in the 10th with base hits. Here's David Freese, and Freese hits it in the air to center field. Martin is back, and he's got it. Cardinals go 1-2-3. 4th inning rolls in when we come back. 250 calories and only at McDonald's. Three-man boot tonight with the Mad Hungarian Al Raboski. Rick Horton, Dan McLaughlin with you. Tyler Lyons already has been knocked out of the game, so Joe Kelly is in. It's Holland, Kinsler, and Elvis Andrus here in the fourth inning. Holland walked, and then it was back-to-back walks handed out by Tyler Lyons in that second inning. And again, just like in the start against Miami, 2-out damage with the walks.
And the worst walk to the pitcher, Derek Holland, and that's the one where you just kick yourself and you just can't believe you did it, and for whatever reason he wasn't able to get back on track after that.
Kelly hops off the mound, steps, throws, makes the play, one away. Already the third time up for Ian Kinsler, and we're only in the fourth inning.
.30 player twice, 2009, 2011, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. Very rare player that can do both. Steal bags and hit with power. First 5 batters in this lineup all have been all-stars. At least once.
In on his hands, and it's popped up.
Going back-to-back American League championships, like they did in 10 and 11, that'll happen for you. Set up away, but the ball's in on his hands, up and in, tough pitch. Fastball command is something that is lacking at the major league level today.
One ball and 2 strikes. Kinsler has walked and scored and grounded out. And he hits a base hit out to left field.
Texas has 46 stolen bases, and the guy who runs the most is at the plate, Elvis Andrus. He has 16 of those stolen bases. Our Hyundai replay, pitch up, middle of the plate. But 46 stolen bases for Texas against just 18 for the Cardinals.
Little difference too with the catcher's throwing arms. See, a club like Texas that likes to run it, they will challenge Yadier Molina.
One ball, no strikes on Andrus.
Dan, you mentioned it, and we've got word from our truck that really, according to our Fox tracks, the umpire's actually having a very good day at the plate. But I would say we've seen at least 10 or 12 pitches that sure look like strikes. They're just maybe an inch or 2 off the plate, and the Cardinals just missing the corners a number of times where you expect that right hand to go up and it's not.
Derek Holland feels the same way. Now, we've said we think the strike zone has been a little tight, but again, you go with Fox tracks, which is something that is looked at from just about every possible angle of the strike zone. So whether you agree with it or not, there are the facts. 1 ball, 1 strike. See Kelly a little frustrated, and again our guys in the truck say not a strike according to Fox Tracks. It's the crew chief at first base, Gary Darling. Chris Conroy is our home plate umpire. Jerry Meals at second. Paul Emmel down at third.
And sometimes the frustration of you throw a pitch that you think maybe it's not a strike, but you think he should offer at it.
Right.
And they don't.
Right.
Not a bad philosophy is to get ahead with the first pitch and never throw another strike, but to get hitters to keep on expanding their zone, get themselves out.
So I understand why he didn't call it, but I don't know why he didn't swing.
Correct.
Here's a 2-2.
Oftentimes when you have a major league pitcher who goes down and does medical rehab stints, he goes down there and comes back up and said, man, they just crushed me. They didn't know that pitch was supposed to get them out. They were supposed to fall for that pitch and they hit it. You know, they're just a mental mismatch. As minor leaguers are just saying, hey, here's a big league guy, we're going to just rake him.
Didn't get copied on that memo.
Start the runner on the 3-2. Kelly goes to second. Got him on to first. Safe. They almost turn two. But the chance they're taken by Joe Kelly. He throws a 100-mile-an-hour fastball to Pete Kozma.
Kozma, you're just wondering about his feet, if he gets spiked or stepped on, but he got tangled up with the runner. Kinsler, as you said, running on the 3-2 pitch. And Joe Kelly thought he had there, gets him, but then you see that there's tangled up. And
very close here at first.
Yeah. And I think a good call. One way or the other.
Hyundai replay, so extends the inning to Nelson Cruz. Outfield is deep and straight away.
Better chance that we're going to see Andrews run.
Late tailing action with that pitch. He jammed him. Carpenter is there. Joe Kelly settled in. 4-4 game midway through 4 here at Busch Stadium. Two weeks from tonight, Friday, July 5th, 25,000 fans, 16 and older, get that unique bobblehead featuring the voice of the Cardinals on the radio side, Mike Shannon. Also behind Mike, you see there the Hall of Famer Red Shandies. And Mike is bouncing. He's ready to go. Yeah, the bobblehead with voice chip features the ball that Mike likes to sit on, the medicine ball. So he's bouncing up and down and set to go for our fourth inning of play, bottom half. And here's John Jay. A treasure in St. Louis, and unique at that. 1-0 pitch taken outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Broke the mold, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
And then some.
Every time we think, the three of us think of Mike Shannon, we'll think of 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 50 funny stories involving Mike. And all you do is just smile, because he is extremely unique. He knows who he is. He loves the Cardinals. He is a Cardinal through and through. He's entertaining. He's fun. And never a dull moment when you're around Mike.
And the voice chip will feature the Game 6 freeze home run. Here's a 3-1 pitch to Jay as he slices one down the line.
Talking about Missouri flavor to this ball game with some of the Texas players. A lot of the younger viewers wouldn't realize that Mike Shannon may be the best athlete to come out of St. Louis.
Great football player.
Well, that was it. You know, when he was a quarterback, you think of his size. You think of Fran Tarkenton and guys like that were Bart Starr, that were the quarterbacks of that era. You know, he was a pro set quarterback at that time, but he also had that shotgun arm. He could do all kinds of things. A lot of people felt that if he would have stayed at Mizzou and played football there, a lot of people felt he would have been a Heisman candidate.
And now it's Pete Kozma. And Kozma hits it in the air out to right center field, just in front of the track, taken there by Martine. Nearly threw it away back into the infield. Jay back to the bag at first. I actually had the chance to MC a night with the Cardinals, and it was this past off season. And let me tell you who was up on stage. Bob Gibson, Mike Shannon, Mike Matheny, Lou Brock, that all benefited the National Children's Cancer Society, which, by the way, is based here in St. Louis. You want to hear some stories. And Al, I've been around them. I know not as much as you, but the stories, I feel like the people may have got cheated because the stories behind stage were awesome. And the ones on stage were incredible too, believe me.
The ones we lived through.
Oh man, it was so much fun to hear that stuff.
And we'd like to keep our license, so they'll stay in the memory banks.
What a neat night, though. Those 4 came out, and it was right around the passing of Stan the Man. So the stories that they had about Stan, and Lou had some great stories about Stan the Man when he first met him, and Bob Gibson talking about whether or not he pitches inside, which he denies as far as headhunting is concerned, or hitting a guy. He just happened to maybe pitch it high and tight, and it just happened to maybe hit somebody every once in a while. Yeah. Kelly gets the bunt down again.
And again, he doesn't run.
Second sacrifice, and advancing to second base, John Jay. But a very neat night, and thousands of dollars raised for the National Children's Cancer Society. And we're going to do it again this offseason with Whitey, Red, Tony La Russa, Mike Matheny. Fox Sports Midwest would like to thank all those who donated blood to the Cardinals and American Red Cross Blood Drive. Thanks to all of you. Over 1,000 pints of blood were collected, helping to save more than 3,000 lives. So thank you very much for your efforts in donating blood.
You ever donate blood?
Sure.
It's so simple.
Very simple.
I mean, it's
but meaningful.
Well, I know that, but I mean, I want to make sure people don't think that this is something hard to do or painful, or and then the rewards are so great.
Chance for Carpenter. Runner at second base. 2 outs.
Kendo trying to tell John Jay to get a bigger lead.
Again, big gap in right center field for Carpenter. Little floater out to center, and the catch is made. 4-4 as we head to the 5th. A Friday night, hot, steamy night here at Busch Stadium. Glad you're with us.
Ever see this, Ricky? Watch the shortstop Andrews. Kicks a little dirt, but now he reaches down and grabs some. And then as John Jay takes a lead, he'll throw it towards second to make him think that he's kind of trying to sneak in behind him.
Now that's tricky. I don't believe I have ever seen that.
Listening to you two every night, thought you guys have seen everything.
No,
Here's
that's you,
Beltran.
Dan. That's you, Dan. You've seen it all with working with us.
I actually agree.
I was waiting for the comment back.
I actually agree with what Red Shandy says every year. He says you'll see something new every year that you've never seen before if you're around this game a long time. And Red knows. One of my favorite things about coming home from a road trip, when you get to see Busch Stadium, is you get to see Red Shandy. He is classically Cardinal baseball. Talked about Mike Shannon, but Red Shandy's really in that same boat in terms of just the kind of the quintessential Cardinals.
Red on February 2nd turned 90 years of age. Still will put the uniform on, go out to batting practice, hit a few fungos, walk around, talk to players in the field, and end up at the cage.
Little tapper, and off the mound, Kelly nearly slipped, and he makes the play. All Sunday, starting 2 hours prior to every home game. Enjoy games, prizes, and free North Star ice cream treats. So you'll get a lot of scoops on a Sunday. That's in the Ford Plaza, presented by Prairie Farms.
You mentioned he almost slipped. Boy, it looked like he may have injured his back a little bit. As now Chris Conroy, the umpire and our assistant trainer, out to
same name.
Look at Joe Kelly. Now, a little swinging bunt. Watch Kelly when he comes to pick it up. There you see the right foot slipped, and then watch he'll kind of stretch out the back. And he says he doesn't need a warm-up toss to verify that he's okay, but they'll keep an eye on that.
Game settling in a bit after a lot of offense in the early going. 4 runs for Texas in the second. Rough start for Tyler Lyons. 3 runs in the first. Joe Kelly gave up a hit to his first runner, but really has been good since then.
Change up to A.J. Pierzynski. Pierzynski, a double to right center field. Came on an 0-1 pitch and a curveball that was hung by Tyler Lyons. He's also grounded out to second. Falls behind here, 0-2.
I have to say I'm kind of happy that Mike Napoli is no longer with Texas. Ooh, what a series he had.
Every at bat seemed like it was a power at bat, didn't it?
It sure did.
One out, nobody on, and here's a 1-2 pitch.
Rangers 3 years in a row have won 90 or more games for Ron Washington, but you look at that 2011 team and they had a tremendous lineup from top to bottom. They had a couple of flamethrowers. Their starting pitching was good. Yeah, could have seen the Cardinals kind of folding the tent at one point, because how do you come back against a team that's that good? But they did it.
Extra innings there. In was game 6, he started Darren Oliver because John Jay and Descalzo were the first 2 hitters, and they both got base hits and set the stage.
And that's what I would be voting on our Twitter poll if I was a little less encumbered. I'm busy talking to you and Dan right now, but I hope folks are.
No, really, you can go to the Twitter poll if you want.
I want to be with you and Al. But thank you.
Well, Al, brought up the point of, in that game, Nelson Cruz, where he was playing. Was he deep enough?
No.
Arguably, you'd say no. Didn't make the play. And if there was ever a time to go all out, and if you're going to crash against a wall, I would think that would be it. As Pierzynski grounds out to second. And I'm not sure he would have had to.
No, he wouldn't have.
So Pierzynski grounds out. Ron Washington has done a great job. Texas Rangers all-time list, and you see what they've done with him. A couple of pennants.
Second on their all-time list with wins behind Bobby Valentine.
It just goes to show you. You're talking about decades of frustration. Just one postseason appearance. And then Ronnie comes in here, and every year either they're going to postseason or they're going to be in contention for it.
Decent player himself. Played in the big leagues for 10 years.
Good changeup, and we've seen that time and again tonight from Joe Kelly. The changeup and the mid-90s fastball, both very sharp.
First year they had the Seniors League. I went down there. I was bored. Ron Washington was our shortstop. He hit 330 something in AAA.
I just can't imagine you bored, Al. I'm trying to picture that. So you decided you're just going to go down there and throw again.
It was fun that first year. Dick Williams was the manager. Raleigh Fingers.
Were you a
Toby Harrah?
Were you a closer in the senior league, or did you start?
I kind of was non-existent, but no, I was a closer there. But we had Raleigh Fingers, myself. Toby Harrah was our third baseman. Ron Washington, shortstop.
How many trainers did you have?
You had a lot. Mickey Rivers, Tino Landrum, Dave Kingman as our DH. Luis Pujols was the catcher. He could still throw. They were 52 and 20.
There it is again, the changeup. Coming up, one of the game's best again this season. Is he a future Hall of Famer? Maybe on his way. Right fielder Carlos Beltran coming up when we come back on Fox Sports Midwest. Derek Holland, but he's hung in there, and we'll go with Joe Kelly. He's hit 97 tonight. Charter high-speed pitch of the game. Joe Kelly at 97. Here's Beltran, and he looks at a strike.
Could this be the inning the Cardinals finally get to Holland? Number of balls hit hard in this game. Surprising there's just 4 hits.
Beltran with one of those, a double back in the first inning. Cardinals picked up 3 runs in the first, 1 in the second. 2 scoreless innings by Holland after that.
Carlos, a switch hitter, came in 269 from this side. 4 of his 17 home runs right-handed.
Well, we have a moment. Congratulations to big Cardinal fans Eric Walters and Tasha Siegel. Their recent engagement. They're watching the broadcast tonight. Congratulations. The 1-2. Beltran is jammed as Holland gets out of the way. That's one way to do it. Lefty righty splits. Let's take a look. Cardinals against right-handed pitching 290. Lefties, that seems to be historically the way things have gone for St. Louis, and it's a 234 average, and the Cardinals right around the 500 mark overall facing lefty starters this year. It's about 15 games or so.
I think, what are they, 8-8 now against left-handed starters? Well, they picked up the pace a little better.
I always think you have to factor in the fact that if that left-hander happens to be named Kershaw, doesn't matter if he's left-handed or right-handed, he's just really good.
The Cardinals are 8-8 when the opponent starts a lefty, 39-18 when they're facing a right-hander. .277 average has been climbing.
Saying the other day that he's tinkered a little bit the mechanics of his swing, and obviously it's paid dividends. Tonight he has walked and scored, also grounded out to second. The 0-2 pitch popped up right side. Mitch Moreland in foul territory. 2 away.
That's the third time that Mitch Moreland has handled a pop-up, and it shows that Holland's doing a nice job of pitching inside. Our Budweiser What's on Tap. The Cardinals and Texas going at it again tomorrow at 6 o'clock on Fox. We're going to feature Adrian Beltre. Career home runs actually at 360. Big number for Beltre. He's been a star in this game for a long time, and again, just 33 years of age. He'll be trouble for St. Louis all weekend.
When he first started with Dodgers. Got a big contract, I believe, with Seattle.
Had a huge year with the Dodgers. He had 48 home runs, 121 RBIs in 2004. And then went to Seattle, as you mentioned, then on to Boston, and now Texas.
Third year with the Rangers, and here's the 0-1 pitch with Derek Holland. You look at what he's done in giving up home runs, not many. Matter of fact, his last start was against Toronto, 7-2 loss. Gave up his first home run to a lefty since May of 2012. That was Colby Rasmus that hit that home run. So somewhere Tony Rasmus and Marv Marinovich are smiling.
You guys are tweeters every night now, aren't you?
Not me.
Again, popped up on the right side.
I know Rick and Tony have become very close over the years.
We're tweeting.
That's awesome.
Heartwarming.
R.A. Dickey, who's now starting for Toronto, making a start tonight. Since that time, reinvented himself, Cy Young Award winner. turned out to be an amazing story. That was in 2004 in a lopsided victory for St. Louis. And again, as we said earlier, the Texas Rangers have never been to Busch Stadium in regular season play. The Cardinals, by the way, have never been to L.A. to face the Angels, and we'll see them on the upcoming trip.
So just 3 regular season games in the history of these two franchises in interleague play that started in 1997. You know, year after year, you're going to play your kind of natural rivals, but I'm a little surprised that the Cardinals and Texas haven't played more. Texas certainly would have played the Astros for years.
Hit into right. One away. David Murphy retired. Part of the Mike Shannon weekend. Well, the next day, it's the Matt Holliday replica jersey. Sunday. Al, you know who's coming to town.
Willie?
You betcha. Willie Robertson.
Keep a straight face now, Rick.
It's the weekend of July 5th, 6th, and 7th. Miami and St. Louis, and those giveaways and Christian Day at the ballpark with Willie Robertson.
Gonna go see him, Al?
Probably backstage.
Good. Danger, Willie Robertson.
Oh, 0-2, ground ball right side, base hit. Martin is aboard for the first time tonight. We'll seeing eye single.
Sinker down and takes it right off the ground. So see his eyes go down, hands in unison with his bat going down there. No ball hitter to begin with, and picked one off the ground.
Derek Holland walked and scored, is also grounded back to Kelly. See if he can sacrifice here. Martin the runner at first, and that's strike 1.
He has 1 sack this year and 2 in his career. When you're a switch hitter, you're just flat out a good hitter, aren't you?
That's what Joaquin Andujar used to say. I will say the most amazing thing I've ever seen on a baseball field, bar none, was him calling a home run left-handed, which was not his natural position. Grand slam, and called it. Off of Jeff Dedman. Hit it into the wagon gate in old Busch Stadium.
0-1 pitch. I'm sure you never heard anything about it after that either.
I didn't know he hit left-handed until he went up to the, and he was just said, I'm going to hit left-handed. I used to do it, and I'm going deep. And he did. And oh yeah, we heard about it.
1 ball, 1 strike. Steven Strasburg strikes out 9 over 7 innings tonight. Nationals win 2-1 over the Rockies. Diamondbacks just underway with the Reds, and they already have grabbed a 1-run lead. That's in the 2nd.
Joaquin's favorite thing to say, Al, you heard him say it many times, is there's one word to describe the game of baseball, and that word is you never know. He'd say that every week. We'd laugh with him and at him. Very good teammate. That's what you appreciate about this game, having good teammates. Long season. Need guys to pat you on the back. Tyler Lyons need guys like that right now to be a good teammate to him, to be a friend, to be a mentor. I'm sure guys are doing just that.
Strikeout number 2 for Joe Kelly. FoxSportsMidwest.com. Stan McNeil weighs the pros and cons of trading for the Phillies' Cliff Lee. Plus read about Lance Berkman, Kyle McClellan. They return to Busch Stadium. It's all at FoxSportsMidwest.com. Ben Fredrickson and Stan McNeil with all the scoops on FoxSportsMidwest.com. Interesting. Cliff Lee is a limited no trade clause. 9 wins this year for the Phillies. 2 outs. And a check on the runner at first, Martin.
What is it, Dan? He's accepted trades to 10 ball clubs, and the Cardinals are one of them.
I believe so. Arkansas native. Remember, Texas had him at one point. There's been talk of Texas maybe re-engaging and trying to get him. Pirates play the Angels tonight. Great matchup. Weaver against Cole. Garrett Cole, a product of UCLA, so he's back home. And Jeff Weaver on the mound for Anaheim. Two outs, runner at first, and it's at the knees. Start to keep an eye on the pitch count for Joe Kelly. How far can you go in this game with him? He's had 67 pitches.
I remember, I think on June 5th, he threw 80 pitches in his start that he made out of the bullpen. What we call a bullpen start.
80 pitches, 50 were strikes.
1-2. Kinsler tonight is grounded back to the pitcher Lyons. That was in the first. Walked and scored in the second. Also a base hit to left.
It's one of those borderline pitches that goes the Cardinals' way, and we've seen so many that have been just off the plate, low or away. Both pitchers really have changed the nature of this game, though. We thought it would be a high-scoring game early on, and they've both pitched well, Holland and Kelly.
Outfield deep, straight away. 2-2.
He's allowed 4 hits. He has not walked a man. So far not charged with a run.
Cardinals another win from Lance Lynn last night. 10-game winner. The 41st win by a starter. The Cardinals rotation. 2-2. Pulled foul.
What do we call those?
It's a long, loud, foul ball.
That's all it is.
And all the hitter talks. He'll brag about how far he hit it when he's walking back to the dugout.
That's a pitcher talking. You're shaking your head, Dan.
Just taking it all in.
It's because Dan did a lot of bragging like that.
Ooh, check swing, and he did go. So it'll be the strikeout of Kinsler. Doesn't matter. Martin is left stranded. Midway through 6, Yachty due up first when we come back. Louis. And let's take a look at the whip package brought to you by Head and Shoulders. Joe Kelly came in relief of Tyler Lyons, inning and 2/3 for Lyons. In that time, Kelly has settled everything down for St. Louis.
He's had 4 1/3 innings now with 4 strikeouts and only 4 hits allowed, no walks, and he'll be the pitcher of record right now. Time for the Cardinals to get a little offense. This game started out with a bang.
Here's Yachty. Now, you talked about it earlier how Molina's put up these great numbers from the catcher spot, and here in St. Louis, it's starting to get hot. That's put away by Nelson Cruz. 3 things you should know about Derek Holland. 4th best in the American League. The home run ratio, received no runs in support, 4 losses this season, and pitched in only 5 games above A ball before making his major league debut. 25th round. 25th round in 2008.
Can I add a 4th?
Sure.
You're letting me, Dan. I appreciate that. The 4th thing you need to know about him is that he really does a good job pitching inside, because that is happening batter after batter. He is just pounding the inner half, and that's how he stayed in this game. A lot of Cardinals are popping up. They're getting jammed.
Well, it's what he couldn't do in the first inning, but what he's done very well since that time. There's another example of it there. We've talked all about how to be a successful pitcher, can you pitch to your glove side?
Right.
Meaning, can he get the ball in on right-handed batters? And the answer is yes after the first.
Well, next telecast, thanks to Rick, we'll have 4 things you should know about a particular player.
I might push the envelope and make it 5.
Wow.
Just because of that.
Certain guys, we might only have 2.
Great to have Al back in the booth tonight.
You know, a pitcher tries to own the entire plate.
And he goes inside with that pitch. In and out in that AB against David Freese. So the strikeout. We turn to the Twitter poll. 69% Berkman's game-tying single. 10th inning of Game 6.
Berkman 2 years with the Cardinals and really very little playing time because of the injuries last season. But in a very short period of time, he only, he became one of the favorites of the fans right here.
We've noticed
because
that
they booed him so much for well, not booed, but they had the respect as a visiting player and all the damage he did against the Cardinals.
And everybody's so glad that he joined the Cardinals, and he's been the star of our Twitter poll 2 nights this week. One case we asked, what player are you looking forward to seeing play in interleague play? We mentioned a lot of the star players, including Albert Pujols, but Berkman got the most votes.
And Mitch Moreland, coming off the disabled list today, put Lance on the bench.
Cardinals have not had a base hit since back in the second. Leadoff double by Cosma. 1-1 pitch and a line out to first. Holland has only struck out 1, but certainly has settled in. A strikeout of David Freese. And here it is, Lance Berkman, a hit no one will forget. A night no one will forget. Cardinals tickets fill up at Phillips 66, 8 gallons or more. Now until September 29th, you'll receive up to 50% off on a pair of tickets to a Cardinals home game. For more info, visit cardinals.com/Phillips66. If this is indeed an audition for that 5th spot in the rotation for Joe Kelly, I don't think, guys, he's disappointed at all.
He's auditioned well.
And who knows? We don't know what may happen after this tonight, but 71 pitches, you would have to think that more than likely this would be his final inning of work. Joe Kelly, his spot is due up, looking ahead to the home half of the 7th. Yeah. Seth Maness, by the way, is throwing in the bullpen.
We mentioned in his one start, kind of the emergency start, he went 80 pitches. So that put him in line to, have a 10 to 15 inning pitch mark here. Randy Schote joins Maness.
Ground ball sharply hit to Freeze. Elvis Andrus out number 1.
Al, do you think this is an overstatement to say that for a young pitcher pitching in the big leagues, and Joe Kelly's still in that category, a young pitcher, got good stuff and certainly has had some flashes, but is it an overstatement to say that really every time you go out there you're auditioning for your next game and your next week and your next month? I mean, is that a fair statement?
I think it's more than fair. I think even a veteran is out there every single time auditioning.
You almost have to think that way.
You really do. I mean, everybody, you want to sign with one ball club. You want to get to the big leagues with that one ball club. You want to play your entire career. But the reality is you're probably not. So you better always be out there. Another reason to help you justify, gutting it out, trying to pitch your tail off so somebody will want you. And when you're trading, you got to take it that not that the team wanted to get rid of you, that somebody wanted you more.
And this is popped up on the infield. Alan Craig calling for it. Out number 2.
Like they might have his easiest inning here.
I think, Dan, that's something that players would want. I think players collectively would want fans to know is that there's this assumption that players feel comfortable and at ease being big leaguers, but very few guys feel like, okay, I belong here and I'm going to stay here for a long time. 80% of the team is kind of clawing for that job and realizes that somebody down in AAA who's hitting 300 might take it, or somebody down in AAA is throwing 95 miles an hour, they might take my job. You're always working to keep it.
Well, think about it in spring training. Mike Matheny made a statement to the veteran players. I want you to help the younger players. Scalzo was doing it with Carpenter, and he said these guys might even take your job. But Beltran was very generous with what he was doing with Oscar Taveras, guiding him. So was John Jay. It's part of the natural progress when you're a winner.
Great stuff. David Freese, the hero from Game 6. Single-handedly, one swing of the bat, if not two, changes the course of his life forever.
You know, when Bruce Sutter was elected to the Hall of Fame, he said, "This will change my life, but it won't change me." And I think that's a pretty good statement for David Freese also.
Agreed. He has been, and we've all seen it firsthand away from the ballpark, remarkable with his time, generous in signing autographs, helping charitable events. He is to be thanked and congratulated for what he's done since that time.
Called Mr. Emos now.
Yeah. Lefty-lefty matchup. Pierzynski and Randy Choate. It's our Chevy call to the pen. Randy Choate has looked sharp here in the last week or so. Can you think of a hometown guy that's lived a better dream than that? Or a moment?
Think of some of the hometown guys that had a tough time playing here. And then you see David Freese has handled it extremely well. And then, as you're saying, to be the hometown guy and be the hometown hero, that was an awful lot for really a young ball player.
Remember, Tony La Russa was thinking about taking him out of the lineup in the division series.
If he would have played, you know, like he did in the regular season, he would have been taken out in the 7th inning just for defense.
That is ripped into right field. Beltre on the move. On his way to third. They'll hold him up as Pierzynski connects with a double. Thought they may test the Cardinals there, but they hold up Beltre. It's runners at second and third with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th.
Gary Pettis is the third base coach. He was almost at home plate when he gave the stop sign. So Beltre running. It's going to be a double. And you can see he's running all the way home and he sees the stop sign. But his third base coach was all the way almost to the batting circle. I think he should have sent him.
Beltre was running hard. He just wasn't running fast. And whether or not he would have scored or not, that ball got deep into the corner. Almost seemed like it was in slow motion the whole play, and very surprised he didn't at least attempt it.
You know, Beltran has a strong and accurate arm, but still would have taken a relay throw, a tag play.
Now it's Mitch Moreland, and he looks at a strike. 5 innings of relief, second longest of Joe Kelly's career. 5 2/3 in 2012. That was against Pittsburgh. Runners in scoring position. Both teams have had some success tonight. Rangers 3 for 6.
Big moment right here in this game. They all don't come in the 9th.
One pitch. Chopper towards second. Choate will get out of the jam. Time to stretch. Big crowd on this Friday night. Texas, St. Louis tied up at 4. Speed tonight. Cabrera, and then you see Beltran and Craig. What they've done. Freddie Freeman also in there. Runners in scoring position. Will the Cardinals and maybe those two have a chance tonight as Ty Wigginton has moved to the on-deck circle. 7th inning of work for Derek Holland. And pitch number 79. This is Pete Kozma, who has doubled tonight. After the first 2 innings, both teams, both pitching staffs have settled down.
Holland allowed 5 of the first 8 base runners to reach base. And then he started pitching in. Beltre guarding the line at third.
So Kozma strikes out. And then strikeout number 2 for Derek Holland as Ty Wigginton will step to the plate. You know what, guys? Ty Wigginton is due for a big moment. Why not right here, huh? What do you say?
I'm ready.
Who's with me?
On that little stretch where he had like 3 or 4 consecutive successful pinch hit appearances. Every now and then and it seems like quite frequently you will see he'll have pretty good numbers against somebody.
0-1 pitch. 0-2. Again, as you talked about, Rick, pitching inside.
Yeah, you have to start looking for it in. I'm sure the Cardinals are looking for it in, but he just keeps bearing it in on the hands of the right-handed batters, and they just can't get a good swing. Bet he goes in again.
And he strikes out. How about this being the moment for something big from... Whoa. All right, 2 outs. 12 flyouts for Derek Holland at his home ballpark. Probably not the right idea. Ball just jumps out of that ballpark, but here tonight it has paid off.
All those pitches in on the hands. Boy, that's a clinic of how to pitch in.
Starts Carpenter away. Matt Carpenter 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored back in the first.
Wigginton got the pinch hit assignment because he was 2 for 4 with a home run off a Hall.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. A 4-4 game in the home half of the 7th. 1-2.
He is locked in on that pitch to his glove side, Al, that you were talking about.
Carpenter lifts it down the left field line and out of play.
You know, as a pitcher, you really, to be successful, you have to throw on both sides of the plate. It's really easy to throw to your arm side. But if you're going to be real successful, you have to be able to throw to the glove side. As a hitter, he can't protect both sides of the plate. So he has to choose which one is he going to be dominant. Is he going to look for the pitch inside, or is he going to get on top of the plate and look for the pitch away? Giving himself, you know, a big hole if you guess the wrong way. And Dan, we talk about today's game. Most pitchers do not pitch effectively inside to batters. So when you can especially get a lefty that's very tough on the right-handed batters in, he's got a chance to do some damage.
1-2 pitch. And it's tapped foul by Carpenter. Ron Washington will have to make a decision. The pitch count is at 90, and his starter is due up third for Texas, looking ahead to the 8th. Carpenter waves at it. And Derek Holland here in the 7th, getting better as we go as he strikes out the side. Sports Update and Pat Barris. All right, Pat, great job as always. Looking forward to the post-game show. And our Chevy call to the pen, the hard-throwing right-hander, Trevor Rosenthal.
Appearing for the 35th time, you see that good ERA, 1.77. He's 51 strikeouts, just 8 walks, and those 51 in 35-plus innings.
First pitch hit sharply to first, second. Very good stop tonight by Alan Craig. Other time it was with the backhand, and one pitch, one away.
Robbed a couple of hits with that glove. Alan Craig getting better and better at first base. Not an easy play. The other one, as you mentioned, to his backhand. This on the forehand. Not really anything other than a reaction play for Alan Craig, but he got the job done. We've noticed that he's been better scooping balls out. Although the Cardinals don't make a lot of bad throws, the ones that have been in the dirt he's handled well.
Saw the off-speed pitch there by Rosenthal as Martin swings through a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Had a long conversation with Trevor today, and he said Yachty early in counts has been calling more breaking balls, so we're starting to see that a little bit more. It's become more effective. His changeup has been very good. Here's the 0-2. That's the changeup at 89. The changeup at 89 miles an hour.
How about the confidence of being a guy that throws 98 to 99 miles an hour that's going to throw an 0-2 changeup?
Look at this. Blew it away. Triple digits from Rosenthal.
When you think about it, the way Mike Matheny tells these young pitchers, just use Molina as a guide. Whatever he puts down, go through it. It really takes a lot of the responsibility away from a pitcher. Now, they're also, when he says throw me something off speed, he wants you to have the good mechanics, so he's not telling you to hang a breaking ball or to just throw that changeup right over the middle of the plate.
Well, this should be a fun matchup here because you've got two of the I don't know if you want to call them prospects anymore because they're in the major leagues, but last couple of years, highly touted prospects. Profar listed #1 for quite some time. He's a switch hitter, very good player, clearly. And you have Rosenthal, who's one of the hardest throwing relievers, starters, pitchers, whatever you want to say, in baseball.
Profar is 4 for his last 26 games. He batted .310 on the 9 games of the homestand. He's only 20 years of age. He made his major league debut last year at 19.
Rosenthal also telling me he's been warming up a little bit differently out in the bullpen, pacing himself. And the other night we noticed that we thought he may have been hurt. Remember when he warmed up and he threw the final pitch basically to the backstop, and he said the oddity of that was his body and his arm felt so good. He said, I haven't felt this good in a long time, and he is throwing hard here tonight. 1-1 pitch. Wow, 99. I mean, how tough is that if you're Profar coming off the bench and this guy's throwing triple digits?
Well, there's some people believe that if you've had a guy sitting there for a couple hours and you could throw this hard, you know, don't throw anything soft because you're doing him a favor.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. He got him. Strikes out 2. 99 on the gun. The big boys coming up. Beltran, Holiday, and Craig. 4-4 game.
Cardinals that may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. 4-4, bottom of the 8th inning from Busch Stadium. The Rangers have out-hit the Cardinals 9-4. Our Chevy call to the bullpen is the left-hander Neil Cox.
What a job he's doing now. It's only going to be his 15th appearance, but look at the ERA. Actually, lefties are batting .259 against him, but right-handers are 1 for 28 at .036 ERA. And left-handed batters began the season 0 for 33, so
elbow surgery for Cox kept him out for most of 2 seasons. In fact, all of 2 seasons. Only 25 games in the minor leagues a year ago, but had some very successful years out of the bullpen with the Chicago White Sox.
From Lebanon, Illinois. With the Cubs after the White Sox. And he was, he's injured, did not pitch in 2010 or 11. 2012, he was with Round Rock. It's in the Houston organization. Pitched 25 games there, and then was a non-roster invitee.
Beltran rips it out to left, and the catch is made. A line drive to Murphy.
Cox has that World Series experience with the White Sox. Really, he was dynamic. Pitched in close to 70 games with an ERA under 2 for the Sox that year. He's got a couple of, actually 3 tough right-handers in a row here in the 8th inning.
Like I said, now right-handed batters are 1 for 29 against him.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Awfully deep for Holiday.
Even Cruz.
1-2 the count.
Cardinals have not had a hit since Pete Kozma's leadoff double in the 2nd inning. 4 of the first 8 Cardinals hit doubles, and nothing since.
Strikeout of Holiday. Cardinals have struck out 4 of the last 5 they have sent to the plate. The 9th sellout this season. Here tonight.
Cardinals are way ahead of their pace, aren't they? 3.3 million ahead of that.
Trending that way, and as they continue to win, the crowds get bigger and bigger. Summer is here. School out. 281 for Craig against these lefties. At times if Mike Matheny, after an efficient inning like we just saw with Rosenthal, would he consider sending him back out for another inning?
Now Mike's doing an outstanding job. He's managing there, but I personally think it's going to catch up to him some of these times, Dan, and he's going to have to, you know, go a couple innings with some of these guys, or you run in the risk of not having Rosenthal and Mojica available on the same days. I also think he's starting to gain a little more confidence in Manus and Segrist.
Even Butler.
You know, and Butler. So, you know.
More to choose from is what you're saying. As Craig picks up a base hit. Previous pitch, Rangers, some of them started to walk off the field thinking they had strike 3 called on Craig. Instead, he singles out to left. And Craig, a 2-hit night. A double, single, 2 RBIs, and in steps Yachty.
It's 2-hit night. He has 2 of the Cardinal 5 hits, and that's only the first hit since the leadoff double by Kozma in the 2nd inning. Yachty's got a 6-game hitting streak on the line, and awfully deep again.
Hitless tonight. 0 for 3.
It's about as deep as we've seen an outfield play at Busch Stadium. I cannot recall a left fielder and a right fielder as deep as where Murphy and Cruz are right now.
You know, in a tied ball game, You could be playing too deep and the run could still score.
Molina, base hit out to left. Craig digging for third. And Yachty, because they're playing so deep, can trot into second base. Al, that's exactly what you're talking about. And look who's coming in.
It's a little bit of a gamble. You know, if you're protecting a lead, you know, you'd want to be back there. But with a tie game, you might lose it by giving up so much space in front of the outfielders.
This ball is pulled a little bit more down the left field line. Alan Craig has a chance to score.
And because they're playing so deep, that allowed Yachty to get himself into scoring position also.
Well, you have first base open, and then the lefty John Jay. Cardinals have already used Ty Wigington from the right side.
And it looks like Texas does not want to see another highlight film for David Freese.
John Jay, 32 RBIs this year. Third most among National League center fielders.
You understand the strategy by Texas. And it'll be up to the execution of the players. Who wins?
Intentional pass to Freese, loads him up for Jay here in the 8th inning. John Jay tonight has lined out twice, and he has also walked tonight. Want the lefty-lefty matchup, and that's what they get here. John Jay against lefties this year. The move makes sense. He's hitting just 170. Bases loaded. 2 outs.
See the left fielder playing very close to left field line. Right fielder way off the right field line. See John Jay take that outside pitch to left field.
They do not believe that John Jay can pull Neil Cox.
Correct.
I'm okay with taking a pitch right here. How about you?
Today's baseball, there seems like most managers don't want to take the bat out of a hitter's hands, but they ask him to be very selective.
2-0 pitch. He was swinging away. 2-1.
But for a pitch, if you see a pitch that you can drive, then take a shot at it. If it's a strike and it's not a pitch that you can drive, a pitcher's pitch, you just take it.
The 2-1. 2-2.
Yachty's getting a tremendous secondary lead out at second. Middle infielders aren't paying any attention to him, and they'll have a decision for Oquendo on a base hit, but it's all about what John Jay does at the plate. Hopefully they'll get it to a running count.
The 2-2 misses in.
Now it is 2 outs, 3-2 pitch.
And let's listen to this crowd here at Busch Stadium. Ground ball to the right side. Race to the bag. And Kutz is there. Cardinals strand. The bases loaded. We stay tied up 4-4. And we head to the 9th. when we come back to Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Neil Kotz beats out Jay, steps on the bag.
After the game on the post-game edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live, Pat Paris will be with Ricky Horton. Joe Kelly, nasty out of the bullpen. They'll break down his night. The Cards get some early offense against Derek Holland before he settles in. They'll look at his night, plus Mike Matheny's post-game comments as well. Trevor Rosenthal stays on to pitch for the Cards. We head back to the booth, and Dan, Rick, and Al, guys.
We were wondering, Jim, if Rosenthal would pitch another inning, and here's our answer. So, second inning of work for Trevor.
Remember, he only threw 9 pitches his first inning.
Ian Kinsler takes a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Trevor telling me today that he's finding it harder to find guys to play long toss with, too, as the season goes on. Kinsler hits it out of play. Oh, to be young again, talking with 2 former major league pitchers, and here's a guy that throws 100 and he loves to play long toss every day, whether or not he pitches the night before.
So guys don't want to play catch with him because he hurts their hand? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure.
I think maybe that's what they're trying to tell him.
Fights it off on an 0-2 pitch and a single into center field.
Well, Ricky, I believe, and I think you may concur, but let you get your opinion. He throws 100 miles an hour because he does do the long toss every day.
No, I do agree with that.
All up at the top of the strike zone in the middle, and second hit for Kinsler, and third time he's been on base.
One of the things that we will tell young kids when they ask, how do you build arm strength? And the best way is to throw and long toss, and not just kind of lobbing long toss, but work your way up and kind of see if you can throw the ball on a line 60 feet, 100 feet, 150 feet. And the more you do that when you get on a mound and it's only 60 feet away, you're just stronger. It's just as simple as that. Your arm speed's better and your arm strength's better.
Elvis Andrews at the plate. See how the Rangers want to play this. They ask him to sacrifice in this spot. He has walked, he has singled, picked up an RBI. Matter of fact, 2 back in the second inning. Squares to bunt, looks at a strike.
A lot of times when a guy throws as hard as Rosenthal, it's not easy to bunt. And with a guy that is definitely a strikeout pitcher, is it wise to give away an out?
Good points. Hit and run becomes a separate option, but then you got Rosenthal's also a swing and miss guy.
0-1 pitch. Bunt is down. Rosenthal makes the play, and Carpenter could not hold on. Kinsler on his way to third. He'll stop there. Craig came in, didn't go back. Carpenter It's a bang play going to cover the bag at first. The sacrifice is good. It'll be an error on the play.
See where that throw goes. Right into the runner. And good lesson for young players. Run hard all the way down there. See, all of a sudden he might have even glanced off of his shoulder. Didn't really change direction much, but you don't want to put your arm in there. If you're Carpenter coming over there, put your arm in front of that runner and break your wrist.
Mike Matheny had one foot on the top step of the dugout, and I think he was wanting to make sure that the runner was not in play, because if it hits him and he's in play, he's out. And really, none of the Cardinal infielders reacted as if they thought that was the case, and so Matheny decided not to protest that.
It's an error on Rosenthal.
And it's Nelson Cruz at the plate. Runners at first and third. The infield is in for St. Louis. If there's anybody that might be able to get out of a jam like this, it's Rosenthal, as he's able to strike out just about anybody in the league.
I believe that's just the second error that a Cardinal pitcher has made all season long. Very few.
One pitch to the backstop. Runner from first will advance as the Cardinals. It actually pays off. A wild pitch that bounces back to Yachty and not away. So catch a little break here.
Airmails this one. No chance for Yachty to even catch it.
And a little visit here with Rosenthal. Crowd again, 45,228. Ninth sold out crowd.
So frustrating reality for the Cardinals that they have to try to overcome, and here's part of the conversation now. How do we overcome it? But Texas is giving you an out and you don't get it. So now you've got two guys aboard, nobody out, and you're facing the middle of their order.
Rick, I'd sit down the bullpen and I would envision when I came into the game, the bases would be loaded, 3 balls, no strikes, tie game, the best hitter in baseball up, knowing that probably wasn't going to happen. But any situation less than that, I'd feel comfortable in. And he's got that comfortable situation right now.
Great way to look at it.
Infield in, the 2-1 pitch. Make it 2-2.
You just go back and say, okay, let's have a little fun, old-fashioned hardball.
70 strikeouts on the year for Cruz. Rosenthal, a strikeout pitcher.
The 2-2. Up the middle, base hit. 2 runs will score, and Texas has the lead 6-4. Nelson Cruz with RBIs. 52 and 53.
Now here is where you get into philosophical things. You throw 100 miles an hour, do you want to throw a changeup and get beat in the game? Now it took an exceptional piece of hitting, but you got a good hitter up there, and I think you'd have a better chance to blow him away with strikeout rather than a changeup.
Adrian Beltre is 1 for 4. Whoa, 98 from Trevor Rosenthal on that pitch.
Credit Cruz with a real kind of 2-strike swing.
Sure,
that
contact
that we've not always seen from him, and he just was really just trying to get the ball in play, and good things happen when you put it in play.
I would have, even if they would have kept that on the infield and got an out of it, it would have produced at least 1 run.
What you could have envisioned happening there had Cruz struck out is walking Beltre with first base open and setting up a double play, and even though it's a left-hander at that point, Cardinals might have gone that direction.
Hit sharply to Craig, out at second, and they get the double play. Did he not step on the bag for the force? I thought he did. Yes, he did. And Cosma confirms that, so Cruz is out.
Well, you have to tag him at second base, and it looks like a little confusion.
Well, no, he got the lead man. He got the lead man by touching the bag. That's the force, and then back to the bag at first. That's the double play. So he didn't have to tag him because he never stepped on the bag at first initially.
Correct.
And I think Craig then was confused, and then that's why it confused everybody here at the ballpark. So see there, he never touched it.
There's the force
Cosmo.
out.
That's out number one.
Right.
Traditional double play. There's out two.
So they didn't even need the rest of it.
Correct. That's where the confusing part was.
Right.
So 3-6-3 on the double play.
Another very good play by Alan Craig at first.
That's his third of the night, and here's Pierzynski.
None of those balls was an easy play. Short hops are really off of rockets.
I think we all would agree he's gotten better on that first base bag too.
Absolutely.
Ricky, and we don't know about this, but this is something that Rosenthal will have to learn, and all Cardinal relievers. We've seen Mike Matheny always use one inning after one inning after one inning. But as a pitcher, you can't assume that you're going to be taken out of this ball game. And you know, this is one of those rare times where Rosenthal with only 9 pitches goes back out. And I'm not saying he did assume that he was out.
Right.
But I have seen a lot of pitchers where they think they're only pitching one inning, and they sit down in that dugout, they relax, and then they get themselves in trouble realizing that they're back out there in the mound. Now, I'm sure that's probably not the case, but it's a good lesson.
And you would think, as is typical, that with the second Rosenthal got into the dugout, somebody would have said to him, okay, well, you're back out there again, or you might be back out there again. But maybe the downtime thinking might have happened from the walk back to the dugout, thinking that you got your job done and your night is over. But I think part of the communication that a coaching staff will do with a pitcher is let you know you're in until you're not.
Joe Nathan has 22 saves. The bullpen for Texas. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Pitch number 28. And handled by Carpenter, Ron Washington, and the Texas Rangers with a lead here at Busch Stadium on this Friday night with 6-4. Brought to you by Bud Light, Lime, Lime-A-Rita, and introducing new Straw-Burrito. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Because the Rangers have been struggling, Joe Nathan has had times where he's gone a full week between save opportunities. He's got a 1.84 ERA. 22 of 23. He's had a couple of shaky outings this past 7 to 10 days, and let's see if the Cardinals can't get to him. It's the Chevy call to the pen, and it's Joe Nathan.
He's still been awfully good. Left-handed batters 151, right-handers 184. He's third most saves in the American League. He's converted his last 6 tries and 22 of 23 saves in 2011. And one more save, he'll move up on the list. He'll tie Jose Mesa for 14th currently on the all-time saves list. Be 321.
The Cardinals have Cosma. Matt Adams has moved to the on-deck circle, then the top of the lineup.
Something about a guy that's been there before and is used to it.
He's dealt with surgeries here the last couple of years and arm injuries, but here he is. Cosma pops it up. Pierzynski throws the mask. One away.
Right, shame you couldn't get Cosma on there instead of with Adams coming up, or at least representing the tie and run at the plate.
Adams 9 for 16 as a pinch hitter, and a lot of cases just like this where you're facing a closer or somebody who's a flamethrower, 7th, 8th inning guy. Been very good as a pinch hitter. In fact, I think he's hit the fastball better than the changeup and the off-speed pitch this year.
Adams leads St. Louis with 6 pinch hits. He's 6 for 19. 316 average as a pinch hitter, 310 overall.
Cardinals trying to win 3 straight for the first time since late May. In jeopardy of not doing that. That's strike 2. And we began the telecast telling you this is the first of 11 straight interleague games for the club.
Not a real easy stretch for the Cardinals.
I've got Texas here, who's a good team. Got Oakland, who's leading the American League Central Division. 1 game better than the Rangers. Couple games with Houston, start the road trip, and then we finish off with Anaheim.
You just want to catch Anaheim at the right time. They're playing well. They're pretty good.
1-2 pitch. 2-2.
Just wonder what Albert's going to be like in that series. Will it be the Albert of old, or will it be the one that's doing better, but not what we're accustomed to seeing?
2-2 pitch. Derek Holland is our Budweiser player of the game. 7 innings, and after a rough, certainly first inning, make it 2. He really settled in. At one point he strikes out the side, and he is our Budweiser player of the game.
He'll get a no decision tonight, but boy, he did save this ball game. Rough start, and then he just went out there and put up the zeros and pitched very well. Got to deep into the game.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. Just trying to get on for Beltran. Matt Carpenter, double run scored. Back into first. And now it's interesting to see how Texas has played Carpenter tonight with a lefty on the mound. Shade him into left center, the righty up. They've got him in right center. And really, when you think about Carpenter against the lefty, very good at staying in and going the other way.
Yes. Talked all night how Holland pitched so well inside to right-handed batters. Well, that's the away pitch to the lefty. And Carpenter is good at taking that pitch to the opposite field.
The 3-1. The tying run comes to the plate in Carlos Beltran. Little drama before this one is through. Beltran, 17 home runs. He has doubled. He's picked up an RBI, his 46th. He has walked in this game. He also lined out and popped out.
All the highlights of Game 6 and 7 of the 2011 World Series. I don't think there's anybody with the Rangers that is totally comfortable right now.
Beltran, third in the league in home runs. Dominic Brown, 19. Cargo of Colorado with 21. Home run here would tie it up. Carpenter is about halfway to second. He's on his way, and that pitch is taken for a ball. And Brzezinski out to visit. Holiday on deck. Fielders' indifference as they're way back at first and guarding the line with Beltran.
Nathan, you go all the way back to his first ball club, the San Francisco Giants. 6th round, 1995 selection.
1-0 pitch to Carlos Beltran.
Acquired by Minnesota along with Francisco Liriano. Bufonzo in exchange for A.J. Brzezinski.
1-1 pitch. Beltran shoots it out to deep left center field. And this is caught. Murphy makes the catch, and this game comes to a close.
Boy, did he close on that ball.
What a play.
Left fielder goes out ranging far into left center. What an outstanding play, and it took that play to end this game.
Great catch. Murphy playing deep, and Nathan picks up the save. 6-4 the final here in game number 1. Ron Washington's reaction. Woo. Nissan drive of the game. It's game-winning hit off the bat of Nelson Cruz. That would score 2, and now we're off to the post-game show. Hungo Award highlights. Lots more to come from Busch Stadium. 6-4 the final.